Welcome back to This Day Live, the Sunday talk show here on the Arise News channel. Overwhelmed by the unrestrained carnage in his domain, Governor Abdulaziz Yari of Zamfara State is backing a call on President Muhammadu Buhari to declare a state of emergency in the state. Yari is quoted as saying, "I'm also in support of the declaration of state of emergency if it will save the lives of people of the state," end of quote. 4 university lecturers had called on the president to declare a state of emergency in the state over the massive violence and killings occurring in the northwest state. Also urging decisive action by Buhari is the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, who says the spate of killings in the state has become unacceptable. Chike, your views on the declaration of the state of emergency, whether or not it should happen?
Well, the truth is that, again, we see the challenges and inherent problems in our constitution. You know, you call a governor of any state, not just Zamfara State, you refer to him as the chief security officer of the state. But this governor has absolutely no control of any of the
So we're going back
forces.
to the issue of a state police.
You know, not even just that. So the truth is this, Zamfara has become a zone where anything goes, as it were. It's like there's been a total breakdown of law and order. You don't even know whether they are the headsmen. You don't know whether they are just armed bandits. You don't know whether they are armed foreign bandits that are just killing people. You don't know whether it's a religious war. But what I know is that there's an underlying factor in all of these, and that is the pervasive poverty in our land.
So what constitutional amendment do you think should be effected?
Well, certainly, if we have to go straight into that, definitely we should be talking about making whoever is governor not just accountable, but also responsible for the lives of the citizens of the state. And the only way you can do that is to empower him and make him the chief security officer, not just by saying it, like Prof has said, you know, with these things are also political. You say what you mean and you mean what you say. So they have direct control of the police, they have direct control of the military, they have direct control of every other coercive agency of state. Instead
of running to the center for that, like everything else.
Yeah, because when he tells the police go there, they will say, sorry, you can't tell her, we have to wait for a command from Abuja, from the IG of police. Same with the military. And then innocent lives are being killed. And that is why it is almost comical when a governor who should be guiding his state jealously and the control thereof is holding up his arms and saying, I can't do anything else. Please, this is too heavy for me. Federal government, take this responsibility away from me.
Well, Prof, do you think he's to be commended for admitting his limitations rather than just idly watching people die?
I think we should go beyond that. First, Governor Yari cannot, technically speaking, be considered as having advocated emergency rule. His support is conditional. The condition is that if it will put a stop to the killing of his people, meaning that, interpretatively, he does not believe, on the one hand, that emergency rule will solve the problem. But if emergency rule will address it positively, let it be. Second level, insecurity remains recidivist in Zamfara State for one obvious reason. Nigeria has become a country of people of self-deceit. We deceive ourselves. We do no longer sustain, you know, the culture of honesty with oneself. Any individual who is dishonest with himself, herself, is not capable, is not likely to be honest with another. The issue is this. Some people, some leaders of thought, have been asking for state police, for community policing. They've been talking about restructuring all along. the issue of a chief executive of a state not being able, all right, to have responsibility for securing his state, because now the Inspector General of Police or the commissioners of police in the states report directly to the Inspector General of Police. And now the governor is not able to control the commissioner. Are we not deceiving ourselves? Now, the president of the country, our own president, Muhammadu Buhari, was told that there is the need to restructure. Restructuring includes the authority, the attributes of control of the governors. But he does not even listen to it. President Buhari even told us jokingly at a point in time that he received the reports of the 2014 conference, that the reports are gathering dust in his drawers. That's what he told the people of Nigeria. You receive reports, you didn't read them. What does that portray? What does that suggest? Now, in the national interest, not in Buhari's interest, not in the interest of the APC, the ruling party, national interest, please, a president of Nigerians, not a section of Nigerians, should have read the reports, see what is good in it, differentiate them from what is not good and therefore not acceptable, and then work on that.
What is the appropriate course of action now with Zamfara State?
Well, in this case, as it is, Governor Yari said, if the solution for now, since he's not able, he's incapable of doing it, and that's the question you asked, that we should commend him for that one. Yes, other governors have been expressing that they are not in control. Therefore, let the federal might be brought in. So I think that for now, with the spate of killings, all right, we don't know who is doing what. Probably we should ask the federal government to impose an emergency rule, which means that, yes, we can now bring the more and better equipped law enforcement agents to be there, the military. But you see, when the same military is fighting a war in different theaters, and they are killing the soldiers, you know, in the Northeast, I think the problem to be addressed is what Goodluck Jonathan made as an observation when he was in power. He said that there were Boko Haramis in his government. I think we need to look at those who are in the government of Buhari, who are making all his efforts, you know, difficult to, you know, to succeed. I think it's not just putting in place emergency rule. There is the need for a special study, all right, of likely opponents, enemies in the administration of Muhammadu Buhari.
You're taking a page from Aisha Buhari's playbook about the shadowy cabal who are actually running the country and frustrating her husband's efforts.
You cannot be more correct.
Well, the truth is also, you know, I think one of the issues we have in the North, I don't know how, whether both of you have been there, but you need to see how the borders flow into our neighbors. We don't have borders in the north of Nigeria. So these things make it so much more difficult. You don't know where a town in Nigeria ends and where a different sovereign country begins. So that is why there's this free movement of all kinds of mercenaries coming to commit so much mayhem.
It is not because the borders are porous.
No,
admittedly, you know, it's the same ethnic group
Yes.
living on both sides.
Yes.
All right, of
Yes.
the borders.
Yes.
I've visited many of the borders, especially the one in Sokoto there.
Okay, northwest.
Northwest.
Yes.
We visited the place. Let me tell you, if we want to explain why the borders are porous, the porosity, on the Nigerian side, never will they have light. Water is never there. The immigration officers have to go to the other side to fetch water, to buy all the things they need. We visited the place. All right. And in this case, when you have the Nigerian friendlier, accommodating, how are you going to control them? How are you going to control the traffic? Again, when you have the same people living on both sides, the same tribal marks, the same culture all along, please, they do not consider that there is a border.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the issues.
Right?
And I'm
So,
just
really
talking about
issues.
the physical porousness of, you see, it's the people that come in there are not even just people from the immediate community on the other side. It is just a gateway for anybody, all the way from Mali, all the way from Algeria, all the way from Libya. They can come in there, cause this
At that
mayhem.
level, the problem, you see, the ECOWAS protocol provides not only for free movement of people, all right? It only requires that you identify yourself as a citizen of a member state of the community. And it also provides that after staying for 90 days, if you want to establish, there is the protocol on establishment. Meaning now that anybody within the framework of the protocol, you can move to or go to any place that is convenient for you.
That's ECOWAS.
Now we have to move to the National Assembly, where the Senate President, Abubakar Bukola Saraki, has described the invasion of the Abuja home of Senator Dino Melaye, representing Kogi West Senatorial Districts, as another instance of police being used to suppress the citizenry's rights and silencing people with opposing views to the current administration. The Nigerian police on Friday invaded the Abuja residence of Dino Melaye. Recall that the embattled senator had on Christmas Day alerted the general public of the plot by the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, to arrest and inject him to death.
Well, you know, this Dino police saga is becoming a bit boring, and you know, it's a comedy we are taking too far in Nigeria, if you ask me. I'm telling you.
Why do you think it's a comedy?
Why I think so is simple. Dino is a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That office comes with a whole load of responsibility. And if indeed he has infringed any of our laws anywhere in Nigeria, there is a laid out protocol to take him to court, charge him before an appropriate court, and, you know, let the judicial Gamut take its, run its full course.
Do you perceive this as harassment?
Of course it is, because I know this guy has jumped out of a moving vehicle with the police. You know, they've harassed, they've gone there several times and all that. And all I'm saying is this. What they're complaining about, they said some of his boys shot a policeman some time ago in his hometown. That happened long ago. After that, I think they have even interacted with him. The man goes to the National Assembly every day. Have you extended an invitation to him and he didn't come? Let us know. You know, but when you keep going on with, you know, we belittle ourselves, you know, in the eyes of the world with this kind of comedy we keep playing out with our policemen.
But there's nothing,
you know,
comedic about a senator fearing for his life. Do
No,
you think that that is actually credible, or? Of
course it is credible. If all of a sudden my house is invaded, look, I have my fundamental human rights. We're saying the same thing. There's a laid out protocol of doing this thing. Charge this man to court. He either gets bail or he doesn't get bail. And if he's on bail, why are you still harassing him? I don't understand.
Your views, Prof.
Conceptually, how do we explain an invasion? What is an invasion? Invasion, from the perspective of a politologist, implies illegality, meaning that the invaders actually do not have the legal mandate, the authorization, the warrant to do so. Now, the context of an invasion. When can you invade? Chike has rightly drawn attention to some of them. If he had done anything wrong, for instance, have you invited him? Has he refused, all right, to respond to your invitation, especially if the invitation is kind? Now, we have not been given information on that. But what is very critical in our discussion that we must look at is the fear of Dino Melaye himself that the invasion had a purpose. The purpose is that they are coming to inject a poison with the ultimate objective of possibly killing him. I think this is what we should address. Dino Melaye is a senator of the Federal Republic, as he had rightly pointed out. Please, he needs to be respected. Even if you are not a senator, as an ordinary man that I am, you can't just invade me because I hold an opinion. Don't worry.
If this happens to senators, what happens to the average Joe on the street?
That is the point I am making.
That is the worry.
I hold strong views about the governments of Nigeria. It's not just this particular one. I have seen the governments of Nigeria, right from 1994 to date. They are more of the problem to the people of Nigeria than all the things we are talking about.
Yeah, because you have to respect your citizens' fundamental human rights.
But on that note, we need to wrap up the show. Thank you so much for your time and your insights as always. You have been watching This Day Live, the Sunday talk show here on Arise News. I'm Tundu Abiola. From my entire team and I here in Lagos, it's bye for now, and thank you for watching. Stay tuned.